The Devil Are We? I'm Matt, and we're looking at some more UFO encounters. Apparently, not seen before. Don't believe that. I bet they've been all over Reddit for about 6 months. And then some. Let's take a look.
Tonight, we start near the southern border. Within the past few years, 3 videos shot in Arizona were leaked to the public. They reignited the conversation about UAPs and border security. We've investigated 2 of these cases before. Here is the latest clip. April 14th, 2021, east of Tombstone, Arizona. It's shortly after 11 p.m. at an 8.
I think I did a segment on UFOs near the border, and apparently the border agents were seeing UFOs really quite consistently. Ross Goldtart did an investigation into it.
Agent with the Department of Homeland Security is tracking an A-10 Warthog plane. He's operating a forward-looking infrared camera, or FLIR, mounted atop a truck.
Those are absolute beasts of aeroplanes, those are.
The A-10 appears silhouetted because with this camera, hot objects are black while cooler objects appear white. The leaker didn't elaborate on why this plane is flying over Arizona or why a DHS agent would be filming it. But it's in our hands because nobody expected what happened next. A spherical object appears to be chasing the fighter jet. Like the A-10, the object's heat signature is also black hot. But when the agent changes to a different setting, the UAP shows up like a bright orb trailing the A-10. At times, the light is traveling so fast, the FLIR operator has problems following it and keeping it in frame. This video remained secret until it was sent to...
Yeah, it seems to be a sphere, a spherical object, like the boogie sphere.
UFO investigator Andy Marcion.
When I saw this and I realized that this was real, I understood that, what I got my hands on was a big deal.
For some, this Arizona sighting falls in line with much of what we've heard about UAPs from other government sources.
At an April 2023 congressional hearing, Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick...
If there's ever a man not to listen to when it comes to NHI UFOs, it's Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick of Arrow, or formerly of Arrow. Yeah, nobody has any good things to say about him while he was in that position.
The head of Arrow testified that 52% of all UAP cases it has investigated, the objects are spherical, most measure between 1 and 4 meters across. This sighting falls into all of the major categories.
Arrow is the...
Come on, Midwest. Tell us it's a balloon following a Warthog.
All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, the Department of Defense's official agency for tracking unidentified aerial phenomena. And Title notes they've seen some similarities.
God, I look bright red on this camera.
More concerning than others.
Kirkpatrick also presented a number of cases where spherical UFOs are seen trailing military planes. The video shows that the object is keeping up with the A-10 Warthog like it's nothing. This has led...
In the arse, it's all over the place. I'm either cutting her face off or cutting the orb off.
some people to wonder whether these spheres are actually aliens tracking our military technology.
Not sure about that.
There are many reasons why extraterrestrials might be interested in our military. Surveillance, curiosity. One former NASA astronaut has even claimed that aliens prevented a nuclear exchange during the peak of the Cold War. So were aliens really monitoring the A-10 Warthog, or was this something else flying in the plane's airspace?
Or was the Warthog there because there was a orb flying around?
After releasing the footage, Andy Marcion went to his friend David Fulch for answers. Fulch is a FLIR technician and operator who works with the exact same cameras our video was shot on. The first question is, could this be much ado about nothing? Are we simply looking at a bird?
It appears that the object is flying around the same speed as the aircraft, which is traveling about 340 to 350 miles an hour.
It's not a bird then.
I don't know any birds that fly 350 miles an hour.
Next, we check with Rich Hoffman of the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies. If it's not a bird, could it be another object seen over the Arizona desert nowadays?
Within the
Drone. Drug drones. Smuggling drugs across the border using drones.
last year alone, there's been about maybe 2,200 incidents reported by Homeland Security of drones being used to carry drugs across the border and into U.S. territory. However, a drone wouldn't be changing the shape. This particular object doesn't remain round. In fact, we don't know of any technology that changes shape like this as it flies.
There's no exhaust plume either.
What kind of airborne object can change its shape?
Is that not just the camera artifact, though? Changes shape.
Perhaps a balloon in the process of deflating? We asked astronomer and visual effects artist Mark D'Antonio whether or not that theory is full of hot air.
Could it be a balloon? Probably not, based
Well, balloons probably won't fly at 350 mile an hour through the wind either.
on the speed of its motion. It looks like it's something that's moving along under its own power, fast enough so that it can stay in the field of the A-10. Now, it's still possible it could be caught in the fast-moving wind column.
It'd have to be fast-moving wind column, wouldn't it?
Winds and jet streams on average reach speeds of about 110 miles per hour. But if a balloon was caught in that stream, how could it keep up with the Warthog, which typically flies at 350 miles per hour? So with no earthly explanation for this object, could we be looking at something truly extraterrestrial?
It's
Well, not sure about that.
changing its size. We don't know any craft or any objects that can do that.
Our verdict? We're calling this one a genuine UFO.
I agree, but it would have been good to see Mick West on that one. I know sometimes I make fun, but I genuinely like him to say, you know what, it's probably not a balloon. Balloons don't travel at 350 mile an hour. They don't usually tend to change shape and keep up with a Warthog. And drones, commercial drones, can they do 350 and show up like a sphere? There's a lot of spheres being filmed out there at the minute, but you never know what's AI, what's fake.
And it's worth noting, we see striking similarities here to other government-released videos, like the infamous USS Nimitz Tic Tac. But let's be cautious here. We're still uncertain this object is of alien origin.
Or the recent one, which is the Hellfire missile smacking into the side of a UFO.
In any case,
And that was a sphere.
Sandy, keep them coming. June 19th, 2023. A photographer is strolling about the countryside in Devon, England, when a glint of light in the sky suddenly catches his eye. He grabs his camera to get a snapshot of this. A strange metallic-looking object is captured above the hill.
Oh, I'm so red. Why am I so red? Probably. Cheers. Might be that.
Close up, it appears trapezoidal. Some people who see the photo claim it has what looks like rocket boosters or even landing wheels on the bottom.
You can tell anything from that. I don't know.
But journalists
That looks like, you know, the classic UFO where it's got like the sort of domes, half domes underneath at the bottom. It looks a bit like that.
MJ Banias explains that's not all.
According to reports, the man says that when he saw this object, it was surrounded by a force field, and claimed that this object shot off into the sky shortly after at 1,000 miles an hour.
Well, two things. One, how does he know what a force field is? Two, how can you tell the speed of something that just shoots out at 1,000 miles an hour?
It's very rare.
Making it up there, I think.
Old school 1950s flying saucer. It's got the rounded bottom, it's got the dome on top. In fact, it does remind me a little bit of the famous 1952 photo of the Passaic, New Jersey UFO.
In July 1952, George Stock and a friend were near Stock's home when they spotted a strange craft approaching. Stock said the object eerily made no sound, came to a complete stop, and floated about 200 feet above them. In fact, Stock said it was so close he could have shot it down with a rifle, but instead, he shot it with his camera.
Pretty sure you shouldn't be shooting things in the air. Are you listening, people of New Jersey? If you see drones flying around in the air, don't shoot it. Don't try to shoot it.
That photo captured what looks like a solid, metallic, disc-shaped craft in flight. It had a dome on top and was estimated to be about 30 feet in diameter. But whether the Passaic craft or this one in Devon are actually extraterrestrial, that's the ultimate question.
UFOs do exist in the sense of we cannot simply identify everything in the sky in a given moment. We do not have enough data, therefore it remains unidentified.
It turns out that extraterrestrials aren't the only ones interested in utilizing flying saucers.
How do you know? In fact, they might have called fly saucers.
In the late 1950s, a company called Avro Aircraft Limited began constructing one for the U.S. military called the Avro car. The project was eventually dropped, but perhaps these new photos can finally show us what real UFOs are made of.
Yeah, the Avro car, as much as they do look a little bit like flying saucers, I think they never got more than about 4 feet off the ground.
We begin with astrophotographer Andrew McCarthy, who has an immediate gut reaction to the photo.
My first impression is it's an authentic photo. I don't believe this was doctored in any way.
And he believes there are some revealing clues in the picture.
For one, we can see it in front of the clouds, so we know whatever it is, it's probably within a few miles away.
So is this object simply something ordinary flying in the skies above England?
Drones today can come in all shapes and sizes, but when I look at this closely, I don't see the usual telltale signs. Forced struts holding propellers, so I don't think it's a drone.
Yeah, but I think you can build drone, like, I think you could build a case that goes around the drone, and then the propellers would be at the bottom, so from a distance it looks like a UFO. I think some people have actually made fake UFOs. They look pretty good, with lights on as well, so at night, you're looking at it going, oh, what the hell is that? But it's actually a drone.
Does it even look like it's something that could fly at all?
It certainly doesn't seem like it fits the profile of an aircraft, so that leaves a lot of mystery to what this object could be.
Some have speculated it's a mylar balloon, which can be formed in strange shapes like this. But physicist Matthew Shadagis isn't so sure.
It's possible that this is some sort of balloon, but I don't think that this is a mylar balloon because mylar is pretty reflective, and this is pretty dark in color. It looks to me like this could potentially be a bird, or maybe a pair of birds, where you have these wing-like formations coming out. But again, it's really hard to say when you
I'm not sure about that one, to be honest.
zoomed in on just a few pixels.
Well, I suppose, right, if you think it could be a bird, then you've got to say the guy is talking bollocks then. Because he said, I filmed it, it seemed to have this weird force field around it. So it's like disturbing the sort of the air around it. And then it shot off at 1,000 miles an hour. Birds don't do that. So if you take the photo as being genuine, you're sort of saying the photo is genuine, but the rest of his story is bollocks. Or the photo is genuine. If the rest of his story is genuine, then it definitely can't be a bird.
On
I suppose it's the same thing without any corroborating evidence. It's what you believe.
a very large field image.
So, could it be a UFO?
I don't see any evidence of wheels or rocket boosters or force fields or anything else that has been claimed about this picture. All of those features can simply be brought on by the extreme amount of zoom on this very distant.
So you zoom into a star and it just like has a weird orb with like things in the middle like moving around, and it's because the zoom effect.
Or small object, making it really hard to claim that any of these features are distinctive like cockpits or windows or things like that.
And despite the eyewitness testimony, Shadagis notes the old adage, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence.
It is conceivable for a UFO to zip away at a high speed. However, we only have the eyewitnesses' claim of this.
True. But at the end of the day, it depends really. I mean, it's the same thing. I can go and film something tomorrow in the sky, right? And I'm planning on doing that eventually because I've got a massive field of view out the back. I'll catch quite a lot of planes though, because from where they come over the hills, Winter Hill, they sort of turn that way and go towards Manchester Airport. But I'm planning on doing like a massive time lapse eventually. But if I film something and I turn around to you and go, this is what happened, blah, 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 I'll put it on the internet and I go, it's up to you. Believe me or you don't. That's what happened. And I'm putting it out there because it's the only evidence I've got. Same with anything on here, really.
See no evidence of high speed, of course, from what is just a single photograph. So my final verdict is genuine UFO. But that verdict comes simply from a lack of information.
Yeah, UFO is a UFO. It's an unidentified flying object. You don't know what it is. Doesn't mean it's aliens. Or lizard people.
Our verdict? For now, without any definitive details, we agree with our experts. We've got a genuine UFO. But remember, that doesn't mean it's an alien spacecraft. So here's hoping that photographer keeps his camera handy to capture another strange object that we can identify.
Yeah, some good couple of segments. I always feel like the problem is with a camera image, even if it's genuine, if you zoom in that much, that it just loses all detail. And then when you say, oh, by the way, it zoomed off at 1,000 miles an hour, it's like, did it? You can either believe people or you don't. Unfortunately, that's the nature of everything on the internet. You believe it or you don't. Nowadays, it's even worse with AI because videos are pretty good. You watch a video that it creates nowadays and it's like, wow, it's just, it looks real. But can you tell? Now, I think any clip that is less than, 10 seconds, everyone goes, it's AI because it's only lasting 10 seconds. So if you can sort of video something, make sure you video it for more than 10 seconds. Because everyone will go, oh, it's more than 10 seconds, so it beats the AI sort of trap. Either way, what do you think? Genuine? The orb one looks definitely a bit mysterious. It was catching up with a Warthog. Was the Warthog there because there was an orb, or was there an orb there because of a Warthog? Good stuff. I'll see you on the next one. You take care. Hit that subscribe button. You'll be helping me out. And cheers. See you later.